Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30, time to wrap it up for today. And I was just in a trade. I had a great trade going there. Look at that freaking thing. They just high-ticked me almost. Just a little bit above it. Oh man, that sucks. They're right into my entry. Knocked myself out, and they're right back down again. That's very frustrating. That is freaking NASDAQ for you. So, but it's as you notice, half-hour shift. Right at that half hour, it gets crazy, and it's we'll see if they turn this around now and start running back up again. But man, I thought I had a shot at getting down here to that 33 level. I had a resting limit. I just canceled that. But all right, so here we are. And so far on the ES, we're still holding on to our gains on the upside, and not backing off too hard. The in Nasdaq, same story there, not backing off too hard, but definitely pulling back a little bit. And we'll see if they're going to get worse than this. So on the ES, we are back up here to 69.80s. Watch that level. If that comes out, we may see this one retrace quite a bit this last half hour. If they hold it, I think we just stay in this range. I'm not sure we're going to see a pop to the upside, but that could certainly happen. Right now, it feels very much like they're trying to take it lower. But man, I had a pretty good trade going there, didn't I? And here we go. If they run down to hit my target now, it's going to be so frustrating. Anyway, so at this point, I would be not very aggressive on the long side. I'm looking for well, I'm expecting more weakness if they depending on what happened, he has this edge. But if the 69.80 comes out, I think they can retrace all these single print Ds, maybe trade back into this lower range again. If they hold, we may see a little retracement to the upside and maybe hold in this range, maybe even take it higher, but I'm not going to count on that going higher at this point. I think they're going to probably just stay in this range going into the close. So, and you saw me, I just took that short trade when it started falling apart here. And they took out the mode. I missed the kind of the mode. I was kind of late to this entry, but I'm seeing the dynamic and I'm seeing this freaking volume that's just rolling in. I just clicked in an order right there. At least I had a shot of getting down to this low, at least the break-even trade, even if I'm late to it. And I sat in that thing, and then you see how they took it all the way down here to the 350s before the retrace. I had my stop just a little bit above the high of that bar, and it ran me up here. It took me out, and now we're heading right back down again. Even if I had been at actual break even, this one here, this could have just high ticked me on that thing. This is so frustrating with Nasdaq. They had these little run ups they do, where they shake out the weak shorts or the weak longs, whichever direction you're in, and there's not much you can do about it. So, and there you have it. But anyway, so at this point, I'm watching this lower support area. This could be a spot where they reverse it and they start heading back up again. So at this point, people are hopping on the short side for sure, and they are right into support. So I mean, I would not be selling into this, even if it looks very tempting, because they're right in that support area. And if it holds, we may be in a trap, if you wish. They may take it down here to the 310s. I mean, they can all the way down to my target before they stall. And if they keep going, then well, then they're going to be retracing this harder than I thought. So we will see. So both ES and the Nasdaq right now in the spot where they're running into support. A reverse retest is kind of the dynamic you want to look for, but with a bit of caution, given that we are late in the session and they've been holding up this whole range here. So we'll see if they're going to try to knock this down or if they're going to be able to hold on to these gains. All right, so that's the ES and the Nasdaq. Overall, though, in the bigger picture, if they can hold support here going into the close, I'm going to start from the long side. I'm going to buy weakness if rotation's higher. If they can't hold this, the 69.80s or the 320s on the Nasdaq, I'll be as range bound going into the overnight. So that's where I'm starting. So today has been a frustrating day. 11 round turns, I'm down 84. I was down 108 or something. I made a little bit back, but as you can tell, even when you're in a successful trade like that, it says they just have a knack of hitting your stops, and yes, it's shaking you out of the trade. Unless you want to sit with a bigger stop and not try to lock in any profit. So, but these are big rotations, so it's not much you can do to protect yourself, other than trying to sit in a make your stop bigger, and then in case they actually reverse it and run it higher, then you just had a great winner. You turned into a big loser. And I tell you that dynamic is harder on your psyche than anything else. So that's why I have to let myself get taken out with smaller amounts. It is frustrating though. It is frustrating. The hard part here is to not try to re-engage it right away and get like to try to revenge trade it, but it's sometimes watch this higher. Watch how they're grinding this higher now. This is Nasdaq for you. Like, the people hop on the short side, they're getting shaken out right now. This is starting to turn into one of those. So at this point, starting with a bias to the upside, let's see how far they want to grind this to the upside. If they can hold this, we'll see what the last 10 minutes entails. Things could certainly change on us. All right, and then bonds, not much going on in the bonds in terms of directional moves. The resistance, the trade I was looking at here did not materialize. They start ticking higher and actually took it all the way up here to the B print and one tick higher. So that would have been an exact stop out if I tried that trade. Then again, I wasn't being super aggressive on it. I was waiting for it, and when they start trading higher, I figured I'm not going to engage that very aggressively. So, no trades on the bonds. They just back up a little bit from the lows. So there we are. There we have it. All right. Now back to the ES and Nasdaq, and we know where to start. Now, news for tomorrow. We do have news. We have the let me see here. We have retail sales, employment cost index, import-export prices, and then at 10 we have business inventory. So we have plenty of news to drive the market going into tomorrow's trading. All right, so we'll leave it there, guys. And look at Nasdaq. That is just so frustrating. They run it up like that. All these people shaking out. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. All right, that's Nasdaq for you. What can you say? It's one of these. It's just one of these things. Anyway, we'll leave it there, and I'll see you back at 8:30 in the morning, right and early, or 8:05, sorry, 8:05, right and early. You have a good evening. Later.